So I'm trying to figure out the best way to build these wings. So if we look closely here, we have the outside layer, which is like the very bottom layer. So I think that I will need a piece of wire that will come up and basically hold this first wing here, and then I will have some foam that will come down and basically be the base for everything. So I'll cut the base and then this wing and attach it to wire, and then have it come down here because that'll be the back piece. And then I'll need to cut out separate feathers that will go over top of everything else. And there's a bunch of little ones here. But before we get to these, I need to add in these longer pieces, and I might add some extras in there because I feel like there's only 4, and maybe some extras will be better. We'll find out. And then these bottom ones are really, really long. They go pretty much to the floor, and those will all be on the base as well. So there's a lot of pieces when putting this together that I need to think through. I'm a little intimidated by these wings, but I'm gonna try it.
So I have some wire already cut from a different project. It's actually the right size that I'm going to use for this. And I'm going to start, I think, by making the base of everything with this brand new roll of foam. So I guess I should probably measure and decide how it's going to lay on the wire. So now I am going to take the hot glue gun and I am going to wrap the foam around the wire. Waiting for hot glue guns to heat up is like the longest process, I swear, for crafting. Alright, so the next thing I think I need to do is cut out all of the feathers, and that is going to take me a very long time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will see you when it's done. Alright, so I have a bunch of wings, or a bunch of feathers cut out, and what I'm going to do now is use my rotary tool and try and kind of carve out some detail into each and every feather, because I noticed in that pattern that a lot of them have a texture to them. So I'm going to try my best to add a texture to them and then use my heat gun tool to shape them. So looking back at the picture, we have one piece that's going to come up this way, and it is a fairly large, at least looking piece. So I might want to use one of these extra big ones that I cut out to put up here, because it looks like it belongs attached to the actual like edge. So we'll put that one there. Okay, so I'm thinking that they can kind of hang off to the edge a little bit, and then these ones can maybe come out a little bit further. But either way, I need to hide this bottom piece. So I am going to push some of these out a little bit longer, and I think that will work. Okay, my friends, the first wing is finished. Everything is ready to go. You can see all the dust on the floor from putting this together. Everything's been glued on, heat gunned, all ready to be painted. So I'm going to move on to the next wing tomorrow and spray this one today so that I at least have this one finished when I come in tomorrow and make everything dusty again. And it is day 2 for our wing making process. So I stopped at Michael's this morning and got more foam. I find that the little pieces like this, like the little tiny ones, are much easier to cut out than unrolling the big strand, like big rolls of foam. Words are hard. So I went and got more of this so that I can cut it into the right sizes. So these will be the the longer small feathers and then the really small feathers. So I'm gonna cut out a bunch of these so that I can do the back of the wing from yesterday and then the front and back of the wing today. It's a lot of cutting about to happen because so many feathers. So I might as well get started. And I think because this is such a long process, this might be a little bit of a time lapse, so enjoy. Oh, don't mind me, just another giant pile of foam. One day I'm gonna figure out what to do with all of this. So I'm trying to be a little smarter today about how I sand all of these feathers, or like, you know, use my rotary tool to put them and make them look like feathers. Yesterday I left with so much dust all over me, and I have to teach a class later today, and I shouldn't go into that class like with dust all over me. So I am now wearing my best trash in fashion, and so like literally just a whole trash bag all over me. I'm probably gonna put one over my legs too, because that's really where it was the worst. So I am dressed, I'm ready, prepared, ready to go for more sanding of feathers, and yeah, let's go. Prepared, ready, it's time. Mistakes were made. The rotary tool has ripped my trash bag like 4 times. So I remain dust covered. And I wore all the protection. I had a mask. I had the trash bag. And I am still quite dusty. Look, it's even on it's everywhere. I'm going to show you a picture of what my desk looks like right now, so you can understand the amount of dust that came off of all of these feathers. It's ridiculous. All right, so here is all, and my pants, my poor pants. I tried really hard, but this is all of the dust from the rotary tool off of the feathers, but they're all cut. Everything is done, and I guess I'll go clean up this mess now. I'm feeling so many feelings on the fact that I put all of the feathers on the one wing, so it is done. And I have this many feathers left for the larger set, and I still have to cover one more wing. And I am terrified that this is not going to be enough feathers to cover the whole next wing, front and back. And I'm sad. I don't want to carve any more feathers. It's just such a boring job. But I'm going to do it because I want to finish my wings. I just needed 1 minute to share my sadness. Let's just hope that it is enough, or just missing by 2, or maybe none. None would be great. The wings are finished. I am happy that I am not going to sand anymore. And I spent the whole entire morning going around the studio, cleaning up any dust that I saw. It took literally so long, but it looks so much nicer in here, and I cannot complain because it probably needed a good cleaning anyway. So what I need to do now is to figure out how to actually paint the wings. I bought some of this holographic transfer sheet papers from Michael's the other day, and I tested one out on a feather, and I thought it was going to be such a good option because this is my favorite part about the wings. This is actually why I wanted to make them in the first place, is that I love that they're kind of shiny and holographic. But I absolutely hated how this came out. So that is not what I'm going to use. I'm actually really sad about it, but I guess if I'm thinking about it logically, this would have been so expensive to do because there's only I think 5 sheets in every package, and the wing or the feathers themselves are much bigger than 1 sheet. So it would have been quite costly to cover them all with this. My next option was to do something I saw on Pinterest, and that was to take mica pigments, the ones that are chrome, and put them in a paint, mix up the paint, and paint them on. I saw a picture of it, I saw someone do it, the paint looked beautiful, but mica pigments did not arrive in the mail like they were supposed to. I even asked for them to be overnight, and they're still not here, and it's 2 days later. So I'm out of time for waiting for those to arrive. So my next option is these 3 paint colors. That's all I got. The only thing I do have some mica powders that I might try and test out and see if they work, kind of just here in the studio. But really the best option I think might just be these paint colors that I picked up if by chance I needed them, which I guess I'm glad that I did. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of test these out on a scrap piece and see what that looks like, along with maybe the additional mica powders that I already have here that might work. So let's go ahead and give that a try and see where we can see what we can come up with when it comes to paint and what will look nice. All right, what I have sitting in front of me is a bunch of different options. So I have the paint I was just talking about, the mica powders, and the paint I bought for the original thing that I was going to do. So I'm going to, I think, mix this paint first inside of this cup that I already have dried paint in, just because I don't want to ruin anything. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and see what that looks like. So I have one with the paint, one with just the green, just the purple, just the blue, and then I kind of just did some little streaks of everything all together just to see what that will look like. So I'm just gonna let it sit there for a couple minutes and come back and see how it dried. So it's had some time to dry, and to be honest, I think that this mix of putting them all together, especially like this, is my favorite. And I think it is as close to a hollow as I'm going to get until I can actually find the right paint. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. The wings are all finished. There are some things that I like and some things that I don't like about them. I don't like the fact that I couldn't find the holographic paint that I wanted, or that it didn't show up in time. But I'm just gonna have to get over it, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that on these wings, like at all actually, now that I am looking at this a little bit more. So I don't think it's going to be possible to make them the color that I want. But if you actually know of a way, please let me know in the comments. I think that they actually needed to be a hint bigger now that I've put them on and worn them around, but it is a little too late to go back and make some feathers now. But I do actually love how they fit. I think that that's really fun. So all in all, it's a win. There's no real downfall. I'm just salty about the fact that they're not the right color. But let's go ahead and move on so you can see the final result. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.